I am live. All right. Hello. Hello, everyone. It's been some time. I haven't been on this Minutes with Michelle podcast in some time, and I'm happy to be back. You know, I've been thinking, like, how can I go back on it? What am I going to do? I haven't really posted anything in almost 2 years. Is it going to be the same? And so I feel like I've grown so much since I did this last time. And so now I've come back with a book that I wrote during my time away called 23 Questions, the 23 answers to the top questions adults ask about children. What we know for sure is there are a lot of kids who are everywhere, all over the world, struggling, and there isn't a lot of help out there. And it makes me so sad. And so I was like, I wrote the book because you'd be surprised that so many parents ask a lot of the same questions across the board, regardless of race, demographics, where they live. A lot of parents and caregivers and teachers and principals and people who work with children ask the same types of questions. And so, what I want to do today, and what I'm going to do through this series as we go through each day, and each time I'm going live on YouTube or wherever I am, I want to read about each question from the book. And so each time we get on here, I'm going to read a question and I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to tell you what my response would be when people ask certain questions about children, because we need to know. And so, yeah, people just need to know. And you don't have to be an occupational therapist or a speech therapist or a doctor or whatever to be able to help children. And so I'm hoping that the information that I give you, even if it's just a little bit, it can help you take a child that you know to the next level, or at least know where to refer them or how to help them. Okay? And so this book is called 23 Questions. I actually published it in, when did I publish this? Of December of 2025. So it's fairly new. And it's on sale on Amazon. But I was like, I'm just going to read each chapter. And I want to be able to answer some questions that you might have in the chat while we're here live, because this is me. I want to be able to answer the questions because you might have a question about a child that's not talking, but then you might not have the same concern about the child in the book. And so then you can ask me questions in the chat. So I'm going to look over on the chat and see if I can answer some questions for you. And I will create a day that we are going to do this together, where I can say, like, hey, every day of the week at this time, I'm going to be on and I want you to join in with me. Okay. And I want you to ask your questions. And so this book is called 23 Questions, and so there's 23 chapters. And so I'm going to start with chapter 1, and the next time we talk will be chapter 2, and then you never know, the next time it might be like something else that's random, but it's going to be about children and about helping children get to the next level on this Minutes with Michelle podcast. So here's the first question. The doctor said that my 2-year-old is not talking. What should I do? And so, how this book is laid out, it has like a question from a real parent or a real client that I had in the past, and then it has the answer that I gave as a therapist working with the child, or as their friend, or as their consultant, or whatever it is. And so, it's the real answer. So, I'm going to summarize each one as I read through it. Okay, and I want you to ask me any questions that you have. Okay. The doctor said my 2-year-old is not talking. What should I do? Hi, Michelle. I wanted to call you, but I'm crying too much. So I'm sending an email instead. I am feeling really scared right now. My husband and I just came back from James's 2-year-old doctor's visit, and the doctor was concerned because James wasn't talking. I didn't even realize he wasn't talking because he's my only child, and I didn't even really know that he was late. James he hums to songs that he hears on his tablet. He seems interested in words. He looks at me when I'm speaking, and he's able to follow directions. Like if I say, James, go put this in the trash, or go get your shoes, let's go, he's able to follow along. Honestly, the only delay that I thought James had was that he just started walking a few days ago, and it's his second birthday. He just started walking like a couple of days after his second birthday, and that's the only delay I thought that he had. Actually, getting him to walk was pretty tricky, but he has the hang of it now. Michelle, do you have any suggestions on what I should do about the doctor's concerns? So I have the answer here in the book, and I'm going to summarize it for you for what I told her and what I tell a lot of parents whose kids are delayed talkers, but they're also delayed walkers. It's so interesting that we learn to talk better the stronger that our body gets. And so I do expect if a child is a delayed walker, they would also be a delayed talker. Because in the occupational therapy field, we call it proximal stability for distal mobility. What does that mean? You need a really strong body, like a really strong core. You know how to, you need a strong core, a coordinated core and abdomen area to be able to get the words out. And so if your body is strong internal, like inside, like your core, your chest, your back, if that's really strong, then the words come out easier. Talking takes a strong body. It takes knowing how to breathe. It takes like maybe like emotional, not emotional, I'm sorry. Like being able to think on your own and motor plan. It takes the tongue, it takes coordination, it takes all of that. When I see a child who is a delayed walker, I expect delayed talking. Now, what can we do? A lot of times, even if they're not a delayed walker, I will strengthen their core. Like I do, I teach them to climb up a slide. I teach them to climb on a jungle gym. I teach them to stand on one foot. I teach them how to run without falling, how to balance on one foot, how to crawl, do a reciprocal crawl with their hands and knees, because we need strong body for mouth to work well, nose to work well, hands to work well, ears to work well, eyes to work well. So, what I told this mom in particular is to expect that as the child gets better with walking, because he's only been walking a few days and it's his second birthday. Most children walk between the ages of like, let's say, 12 months to like we could even say 10 months, like between like 10 months and like 15 months. That's when most kids learn how to walk independently. So anything after that, like going towards their second birthday, there's a delay there. And so, what I would tell this mom for right now is to get the child stronger with their walking skills, where they're able to walk without falling. They're able to go up and down the stairs on their own without falling. They're able to do like a slow run without falling. And there's something called like high guard. Hold on, let me come into the camera. When kids have like when they're walking and they're kind of like balancing. And so you want their hands to be closer to their body as they're walking. So as their balance gets better, their walking gets better, we would hope that their talking would get better. And you want to look at like any underlying things going on, like why were they a delayed walker in the first place? What is it? Is it like low tone? Do they have like weakness somewhere else in their body? Is there something going on with their feet? Like, why aren't they talking? Why were they a late walker in the first place? So, thank you so much for joining and listening to me talk about this child in particular. If you have any questions, I'm going to stay on the chat, and I want to focus on this particular question for right now. Anytime we do these, I want to focus on the question at hand so that we can help with that. And then if we have time later, we can answer other questions. And so the question that we have is, the doctor said my 2-year-old is not yet talking. What should I do? Because that's the one. That's what we have to answer. That's what we have to answer. So I hope that this was helpful. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer. No, you know what, y'all? I'm saying I'm going to stay on a little bit longer. No one even knows I'm live. I didn't even tell anybody I was going live. I just went live because I didn't want the pressure of like, oh my gosh, you're live, did it? And so no one knows I'm live. And so where are the people going to come from? They're going to come. I know that they're going to come. And we are going to have a fantastic time. So in the meantime, in between time, thank you for joining Minutes with Michelle. And this was chapter 1 of 23 questions. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.